Hello everyone. Former US President Donald Trump has once again been indicted for his involvement in mishandling classified documents. This is the first time in history that a former US president has been federal criminal prosecution. So what has happened? Could Trump face imprisonment? Let's find out in this video. On June 19, 2023, former US President Donald Trump was indicted with 37 federal criminal charges related to retaining classified documents after leaving the White House. This is the first time a former US president has faced criminal charges by the government that he once led. This is also the second time Trump has been indicted with criminal charges after being accused of paying hush money to two women during the 2016 election. This case is being overseen by Special Prosecutor Jack Smith, who previously served as an investigator on war crimes. Mr. Smith is also overseeing a separate investigation into Trump's role in the US Capitol insurrection. So what are classified documents and what did Trump do with them? Under US law, classified documents are information or materials related to national security or diplomatic relations of the United States. If disclosed, such documents could potentially harm the national interest and security of the US. Classified documents are categorized into three levels: confidential, secret, and top secret. These levels indicate the potential damage if the documents are disclosed. Only individuals with authorized access and a need to know are allowed to view or use classified documents. According to the allegations, Trump took about 300 classified documents to his estate in Florida after leaving the White House on January 20th. These documents include records of Trump's meetings and calls with foreign leaders, intelligence reports, and policy directives. Under US law, former presidents are allowed to retain some documents related to their activities in the White House, but they are not permitted to retain classified documents. These documents must be returned to the government or stored securely as required. However, according to the allegations, Trump left classified documents in unsafe places such as bathroom and shower at his Florida club, and did not have any protective measures in place to prevent unauthorized access. Trump also refused to return classified documents to the government. Even after being ordered to surrender all remaining documents in his possession marked as classified, he still did not return them. According to the allegations, Trump obstructed government investigations by encouraging his staff and associates not to cooperate with authorities and by tampering with evidence and statements. So, what consequences could Trump face? Retaining classified documents may violate the Espionage Act, a federal law enacted in 1917 to prevent the disclosure of sensitive information related to national security or diplomatic relations of the United States. This law has various provisions, and one of the provisions related to Trump's lawsuit is Section 793. According to this provision, anyone who discloses or letting others know or knowingly fails to protect classified information may face up to 10 years in prison. This applies to both those who have authorized access to classified information and those who do not have such access. Additionally, retaining classified documents may also violate the Presidential Records Act, a federal law enacted in 1978 to ensure that the records of the president and vice president are preserved and made available to the public as required. This law also requires the president and vice president to comply with any requests from the National Archives and Records Administration regarding the handling of records. Violating the Presidential Records Act can result in fines or imprisonment of up to 3 years. Therefore, if convicted, Trump could face up to 10 years in prison. However, there are several factors that could influence the outcome of the case, such as the selection of the jury, the evidence presented, Trump's prior legal history, and the competency of his legal team. Speaking of the jury selection, US law has a very interesting and fair provision that when someone is charged with a criminal offense, they have the right to be tried by an impartial and fair jury. The impartiality and fairness are reflected in the fact that the jury will be selected from eligible citizens living in the area where the case is being tried. In Trump's case, jury selection could be challenging due to political polarization and his notoriety. There may be people who staunchly support or oppose Trump, or those who have preconceived opinions about the case. The prosecutor and defense attorneys will have to find people who can objectively and fairly evaluate the evidence presented. After the trial, what happens next? First, Trump could go to prison, but the likelihood of that is very low. However, even if Trump doesn't go to prison, it doesn't mean there won't be any consequences. According to analysts, this case could not only affect Trump's reputation and future political career, but also have serious implications for national security and foreign relations of the United States. If the classified documents that Trump took with him are leaked or stolen by enemies or adversaries of the US, it could reveal military secrets, intelligence policies, and jeopardize the interests and safety of the country and its allies. Moreover, Trump's indictment could also damage the credibility and reputation of the United States in the eyes of the world and weaken its leadership role in international affairs. Overall, the handling of this case will depend on many factors, such as the selection of the jury, the evidence presented, the regulations and profile of Trump, and more importantly, the competency of the legal team. Regardless of the outcome, this lawsuit will be one of the most significant events in US politics history. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave your comments and subscribe now to never miss a video, and let's learn together. See you again.